Hello, everybody, welcome. We're just like investigators. Guys, it's only 11:20 a.m. It's early, don't you think? I don't know why this happens to me. I had a call today, this evening, and then I have, of course, I had to go bake these Brazilian cheese breads. Then I had to go to CVS. This is New York, right? So things are up and late. And then I kept delaying all of, even though it was ready. I don't know. I have problems. But anyway, so it's late. Someone's like, really, can you just get your makeup ready before you go? No, I need it for spiritual protection. I'm serious. Is my armor. So Corinna is not on. She was not available today. It's just me. Me and the eye. Oh, by the way, I saved it to show you guys because I know sometimes people ask me, what is your eyeliner? And oh, because I wear it so much that it often runs out. It's by Elf. No budge. Retractable eyeliner. Black. Noir. That's it. So that's the one. Okay. Someone asked. So, all right. So you got it. You get it at the drugstore. It's like I think it's $5, something like that. So anyway, so uh so that's that. Now let's do protection. I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming into my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources. They create the good and only the good. So it is. So guys, I had saved a lot of news for today. And also I saved and created presentations based on your questions. So there are several questions I would like to address. And I think that's what I'm going to do in this video. Tomorrow I will look into the news in depth. And of course, there was the State of the Union by Trash. I did not watch it. I saw the reactions and how Democrats acted, but I'm not going to look into it now. Okay. And it's interesting, no? Fine, interesting. Interesting information. Interesting information. Okay, but let's do the questions. I'm gonna pause. I'll be right back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's world? Dun, 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 dun. So, okay, so there are several questions here. I decided to just leave them all in one place. So, how do we select a question? Okay, so here, Florida King had a question. She had two interesting questions. I'm going to leave it towards the end. And here, okay, I want to talk about here. This person here is Soul Journey BW. It's so interesting Ohio being grabbed zero for dirty scheming. By the way, guys, if you haven't watched, this question is related to the latest video, which is when I channeled a gentleman by name of Michael Connell, the IT guru who worked for Karl Rove and George Bush, but died in an airplane accident. Accident. So this relates to what was discussed in the video. Okay. So Cash Peter, now second sentence here. Cash Peters wondered if they manipulated Tim Ryan's seat as a trial run to see if they could get away with giving it to JDV as a precursor to the 2020 election. Since they got away with hacking that seat, they felt confident enough to get into place for the presidential election. Also, Tim Ryan conceded right away instead of issuing a recount. Cash said the energy, he doesn't do predictions, still suggests he was the winner. Anyhow, I think it was in his first video after the holidays. Now, I remember this video. I watched it myself. Is that right? Or I feel like you referred to it afterwards. And I remember at the time, what did I remember? I remember when I saw this, I remember this thing of like that someone had mentioned there was some issue with Ohio that was known then. And I knew I kind of felt like he was related to that this man, but I anyway, this is before I do the research into it. But the question I want to ask here is not just whether Tim Ryan was a winner, but why do the Democrats concede? This is the thing because it's okay, and it's not that I'm like picking on Democrats. It's not the point, but but it's something that has to be asked. Why do they let it pass? Or is it not? Does this make sense? I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Do they get death threats or something? What is it exactly? Because it's so, if people like us can figure it out, come on, right? Come on. So, so let's ask the here in this case. Did Tim Ryan win the election? Technically, right? Did he get the most votes? And if he won, why did he concede so quickly? So I saw that someone is telling him, yes, I believe we won, but we can't prove it. Because the thing is, the Secretary of State there um, owns, like, the Democrats don't have access to the machines or to those kinds of things. So if they can control the machines, they can control the votes. Okay. So I have a question now. Okay. So then I asked why, and he said that the Democratic Party does not want to go like, it's a they don't have, they feel like they don't have recourse. I just, why is it true? No, it's saying that somehow they can kind of like, I don't know, it's, I don't understand it honestly, but they're saying they have hijacked the legal system and they just don't give access to the machines, I guess. But guys, you know what's scary, right? When I look into, and by the way, I was sent very interesting articles. Like, I don't know why if I had 24 hours, you know what I mean, like to in the day to just do this. But there's so many articles about this. This is what's sad. And the debold machines, right? Somebody sent me an article that that company was even indicted for it. And silence. There's a wall of silence around this. And you know what? As I'm telling you this, I get the image of a mob, like the mob. They, but not obviously it's not the Italian mob, but it's like a mob-like tactics. You know, it's like, and they're like, Rosie, they killed the guy. What else do you need? Everybody knows, right? Oh, he's back. It's like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, they killed me. I told everybody. I told them. I told people about it because I knew it was gonna happen. I had dreams and everything. I had dreams. Asked them. Asked them. Oh yeah. Huh. Come on. Come on. Wow, he's still angry. I mean, not that I, okay, Michael, I know you're not invited. Michael, you're kind of rude. I have to tell you, Michael. You've been a little rude. Can you calm down? We have a thing, you and I. Oh, look at you. Wow, he's like, do you know what time it is, girl? Are you gonna go out there on the street? Are you a are you a street worker? You gonna go out there with his makeup? All the makeup. Wow, streetwalker, huh? He says, wow, you're a nice guy considering you haven't learned anything over there. Have you learned something over the other side? Or are you still in the, what is it called? Purgatory. Hmm? So, so anyway, so Michael, what's up? Can you tell us what's up with the Democrats that don't, the ones that, because to us, increasingly the people who watch this channel, it's how do you, it's pretty obvious. Okay, come on. So it's, you know, it's like Rosie, it's like La Cosa Nostra, La Cosa Nostra. Nobody says anything, and everyone refuses to testify, and they just don't do what you ask them to do, and nowadays the Supreme Court is on their side, so they have hijacked the courts. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh, and I got something else, guys. This was really interesting. Okay, so remember how a lot of people have mentioned this episode, and I have to find, and maybe I'll one day I'll find it. It's online. It's not hard to find. It's this. So during I think it was the first Obama election, a lot of people talked about Fox News and how Karl Rove was on Fox News as they were counting the votes, and Karl Rove was like, "You have to wait for this county in Ohio and to get the results," and he's like, "No, no, no, he hasn't won this county. Wait for this county. I'm sure we're gonna get this county." And he just was furious when he found out that Obama had won the county. And if I remember correctly, someone sent me this article, or was it in the comment? There were power outages. Now, guys, the thing that research, that Michael, yeah, put your money where your mouth is, girl. He's like, he's yelling at me to try to push me to talk about it. He's like, you got the whole thing. I know you're disorganized. You're a mess, girl. You're a mess. You're a mess. Get your act together, girl. Get your act together. Get your act together. He's telling me, get your act together. You're a smart person. You put it all together. Now what? Just say it. Just say it. Is what he's telling me. You're a little crossing the line here, Michael. Crossing the line. Okay, just to tell you. Anyway, so so part. Okay, so then this part of the power outage. Now, this relates to something I found in the recent research about the last election. There is something about the technical nature of the plugs that are used. This is the machines that connect, that give power to the voting machines, and that's what's theorized to be this is supposed to be the receptor, not the container for the programs. So, but the thing is that there has to be a power outage in order for the program, for the script to be activated. So remember how there were the power outages in the last election and the bomb threats. So there is something about turning off like the power outages, that this activates those scripts. And the same thing happened in the Obama election. I feel like somebody on Obama's side knew about it and made it happen. Okay. So that Obama could win, and it worked. So does it make sense? Because what Michael here is saying, he's like, yeah, is that, and I'll tell you about and somebody, by the way, commented, somebody who understands networking and Cisco routers, because he talked about, yeah, Cisco, it's all Cisco, girl. There's different, say there's different routers. There's different ones that different, it's like, he's like, no, there's a lot of different ones you can get. And you can customize it. Okay, so the routers, oh no, we're not using routers now. Those routers, different routers. We're using this other thing from the company that that was owned by Leonard Leo. Not shady at all. What a coincidence. Oh, 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 oh. No, it's normal. Very normal, don't you think? Anyway, and he's like, mm, Michael has some information. Michael is telling me that Leonard Leo has a secret life. Hmm. His ex-boys, yeah, and that there is information. There's tapes. There are tapes. Hmm. Girl, there are tapes. Lordy. There are tapes, is that right? Oh. And this is why. So it's like Putin has everything, all this, knows everything that happens in their lives. So not to say that he's not a bad person, but they're all owned. Oh my God. Jesus. My neighbor, she hates me because I drop stuff at all times of the day and night. It's true. But she's an a-hole, by the way, the one who lives below me. Oh my gosh, she's a Karen, a true Karen. She really is. Okay, whatever. Mm. So anyway, I just dropped it. This is what fell. Fit me. Light. This is really good powder, by the way. It removes shininess. It's still a little shiny, but but anyway, we need the distraction. I'll be like, wow, this woman, she really can't but she can't be bothered to put a makeup on. Wow, what a loser. Wow, is she so disrespectful? Did you notice? She treats the camera as if it were a mirror. Can you imagine? People are watching her channel and then she does it. Wow. Cool. Hmm. Okay. Oh, he's like, wipe it out. Too much, too much. Okay, shut up. Michael, shut up. Okay, shut up. So, okay, but let's go back to normal. Okay. All right. So tell us yours. So he okay. So then going back here to the thing that happened in the Obama election and why Obama won. I think there was something where this is how they prevented that program from going through. And it's saying, Rosie, it could even have been divine intervention. But the bottom line is that there were too many people voting. And it's saying the numbers get bigger and bigger every time. And this is why, like I have read this before that George Bush had a policy of integrating immigrants. But since then, they changed to be very anti-immigrant because they know that immigrants tend to be progressive, right? And they see the pattern of the numbers and the population shift. And this is, guys, if you think about it, it is ultimately about power more than race, if you think about it in some ways, right? Because for them, the logic behind this is that they want to prevent people who have rights, right? People who are not going to vote. They know, they understand exactly where everything is going. So they want to change the population. They want to kick people out. Why? Because they know that unless you have this fascist Christian reality where you control all of the voters, you're not going to get people to vote for you. So, but now they have a better solution. They have a satellite voting. You don't have to show up, just change the numbers on internet of Sky. Okay, all right, let's go back. So, going back here. So this is how Obama won. Now, Tim Ryan, go back to Tim Ryan. So how come why can't somebody like Tim Ryan say, you know what? Let's stop this BS. They stole the votes. And no, it seems as you don't understand. People would make his life a living hell, and he's a politician. This is the thing, and this is also about corruption in the sense that they care more about their career than the truth. There is not going to be one person who'll say, you know what, there's something messed up here. I am going to be the whistleblower. I'm going to say it. No, nobody. And people who have tried to go that route, they were stopped and they got really scared. So, but how come somebody like, for example, Hillary Clinton, why can't she say something? Somebody like that. Hillary Clinton, I think, has a lot of courage. Why can't she? Because it's saying she's a lawyer also. She knows it's very hard to prove. But, okay, guys, this is the thing. We have the NSA. We have whatever the hell. Even, even, this is the thing. Reality Winner spent 5 years in prison. Why? Because she exposed a document that said Russians had penetrated our voting system. She got prison time for it. 5 years. So that's right. It's like Rosie, they're saying they have to change the courts. And I think, and they say, and that's when the Republicans are, I'm sorry, the Democrats are, I see like, oh, but they want the population to trust the voting system. But the voting system hasn't been right in a really long time. I have to tell you guys, like I said, Brazil, for example, it's a third world country where I grew up. Voting is mandatory and it's always on a Sunday. So that people, it's you have to vote or you pay a fine. And there's a lot of things like it's like not paying taxes if you don't vote. You have to justify why you didn't vote. Okay. It's that serious. You can't get a passport if you don't prove that you didn't vote, why you didn't vote. And if a third world country like Brazil, you don't know how you do it, all you need is this ID, national ID. You show the ID, they make it's not complicated. Okay. And that's what you have to implement is a national system of voting so that it's just as easy as anything, as easy as opening a bank account or whatever, they make it hard for people to vote, right? So, so this is it. They have to change the laws. It's like, and it tells me this is something sad to say that I was listening to someone's talking about Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is very much anti-democracy. He's one of the figureheads of this thing. And people around him say something like the U.S. is not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. I forgot exactly how they say it. But the truth is, it's not really democratic if you think about it. It's so hard to vote. It's so hard to get proof of things. And I remember even, Susan Lin, right? Susan Lin, I remember watching a video of hers where she talks about it, how somebody was registered to her house and never lived there. And they changed the people's it's like it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay. So this is it. Okay. All right. So that's the story. So effectively, the answer is why didn't they do? Because, but I get that they're like, oh, we don't have proof, but it's like a mafia. When it comes down to the vote situation and the details of voting, there's enormous. Not only is it hyper organized, but it's very it's a mafia like. Okay, so I have a question. How are we ever going to be able to change this? If so, how? I do see Kamala Harris, God bless her, getting into power, and then she has to change the Department of Justice. She has to change a lot, and she's a lawyer because things have to be changed. And I think and see, but only when it's like the truth about the elections it has to be exposed. It's saying it will, Rosie. Michael, do you know anything are you around? I'm calmer now. I'm calmer now. He says. Okay, so tell me, Michael, what do you see here? It's weird. He shows me Dick Cheney. Once Dick Cheney dies, then some of it can come out because Dick Cheney is like he knew, he knew. For some reason, it will incriminate Dick Cheney. What he push comes to show. By the way, Michael, Dick Cheney. Someone mentioned here one of the questions. Okay, let's see where. The person called here, Molly Weller, asking about Dick Cheney currently. I doubt Dick will spill the beans because Putin could spill the beans about him. So that's right, saying Dick Cheney is involved in the Bush wins. He will know the full truth about it. So when all the players die, that's when they will. No, but Bush probably will be alive, yes. But the person who's really responsible for it is pretty much. It's not. Is it? No, it's in Rose. It is. Dick Cheney knew, and he was a de facto president, and he gave the okay for things. So, wow, I have a question. But Dick Cheney, by the way, Michael, these days I feel like Dick Cheney could help us fight that Russians. Is it true, or am I crazy? Is it Cheney able? No, yeah, no. So he is. He can. But it's saying deep down, Dick Cheney knows that the Russians only did something. The Russians and Elon Musk only did something that they were already doing. Dick Cheney It's saying the people that knew how the network interference voting happened, no, they understood exactly what happened when Elon Musk came around and how early the votes were declared. They understand. So, okay. Okay, here it is. Uh this other person, a Fural AFRN. Rosie, I wish you would have asked Michael if he knew why Dems haven't publicly unearthed the interference. They have to have some suspicions at the very least. Perhaps someone could channel can offer insight. Why they haven't? It's saying they were also part of a psyops by the psychological operations by the Republicans, because the Democrats are just too afraid. Oh, and something that wasn't Michael who said something that was so interesting and so wise. He said something like, "Well, have you noticed how the evil people, they don't, was it him? I think feel like I've said it earlier, not through me or whatever, that the evil people, they never, oh, something that's gonna come around. Oh, it's coming, whatever. No, they get it done because they don't trust the natural order. They feel like if the natural order is not good, right? So they interfere in everything because unless they are in charge, they feel it's not going to go their way. And this is the problem with Democrats. Oh, the good thing is going to happen. No, the good thing is not going to happen unless you make it happen. So, because it's almost like it's saying that Democrats are too, it's a criticism, but it's saying in this case it's valid. They're too concerned with doing the right thing. But doing the right thing it's like, it's not just choosing the right thing, but preventing the bad thing from happening. And when you look at the strategy of Republicans, they have been preventing people from voting because doesn't make sense, because that's the way they realize that they can win. Their goal is to remember, how do they do it? You could say yes, they cheat, but they also prepare. They're very prepared. And this is something we have to do, right? We have to, this is something that we should take a little bit from Republicans is that they're not like, oh, everything's going to be okay. We're going to hug each other. You have to be more realistic. You have to be, they call it real politic, right? Don't, it's the same, oh, the right, like, assume these people are evil foxes. Prepare accordingly. Okay, so, and so, Rose, they have prepared, but the evil, all they do is evil, and us, we still want to do a few good things at least, and that's not the same level, that's not the same energy, but it's saying that energy in the world is changing, it's shifting, and it's making it easier to do good things. Does that make sense? It's that the energy of the good is, the power of the good is increasing, so we're on that direct, going in that direction. Okay, all right, so, and then this question here, Penny Cole, Rosie, how do we stop the rigged routers from changing every future election? Remember that 45 said no one would ever have to vote for him again. But who's going to prove this to us in the US? How do we stop this? Unplug them. I say unplug them. You have to do paper voting and change the way that you account for votes, because if it's the way it is, anybody could be like, oh yeah, well, hold on a second. It's like an Excel spreadsheet. Oh, no, I want to go here and change the numbers. For a country as advanced as the US, it's not excusable. It's not acceptable. But it's saying, how do we have to turn it off, but we have to put people in prison for it. That's the thing. You have to change the makeup of the Supreme Court, and you have to create just like, because think about it. People who have armed robbery, they get decades in prison. This is way worse than armed robbery. They rob the rights of hundreds of millions of people. They should get life in prison for this stuff. Okay. And that's what has to happen. That's anything that, yeah, and I do believe, guys, really, that a Democrat, Kamala, is very likely to come next soon. Okay. Because they stole the election, truly. And all these things have to be done very energetically. Okay. Because they're destroying the country right now. That's the truth. Okay. No. So, and this is gonna be, I don't know if we have time for this, but this is really interesting. I'll see if I could do it quickly. I don't know if it's possible. Um, Rosie, can you channel President Harry Truman, who led the move to create NATO, and how he feels about the abandonment of NATO? He's like, yeah, he's so angry. Ah, and I see that was he a veteran or I feel like he cared about veterans or there were veterans in his family and he's very upset about the disrespect and especially upset also at JD Vance. And have you know, guys, by the way, I separated this for tomorrow, but the stuff that JD Vance has said about the UK veterans, it's like, wow, I just it's really beneath contempt. He's such a troll. And I was like, honestly, I know it's petty to say it, but I can't wait to spit on his face. Think about, and I'm not even British. Imagine if he ever lands in that country, no one, like he's gonna get spat on. Okay. It's like the amount of disrespect for somebody who did not win the election. Think about it. It's really very sick. Saying he's like Neville Chamberlain, right? The guy who wanted to negotiate with Hitler. That's right. He'll be remembered in that, and he will live a life of disgrace and always looking out the window to see if he can come out because everybody's looking out, laughing at him if he doesn't go to prison first. So, mm, all right. Wow. So this is that. So, President Trump, what do you see? I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry. They got they got us. They got us that way. But do you see the U.S. surviving this? Will there be a U.S. or are we gonna be another? Someone said West Russia. You laugh, Rosie. But that's right. It's interesting. He shows the dirt under the rug and is saying this has been buried under the rug of the US for decades, centuries. This is the thing. And then he brings a flashlight and said, we have to look at the darkness that has been part of this country for centuries. And this is the only way that we can undo this. And we will have to do it. And if we can do that, then this country can continue, but not before. Wow. So Kamala she's waiting in the wings, and so is Biden. They know that this could happen, meaning they can come back. But it's saying it depends on they don't have the power to make it happen themselves. But if things go, I was going to say according to plan, really, yeah, there are plans in place. But why can't they act now? Saying, wait, Rosie, we can't tell you exactly the details, but it's going to happen. Okay. Okay. So I have a question, President Truman. I know I'm going to ask you something really offensive, but I could totally see Donald Trump wanting to send American soldiers to Russia to like help Russia win the war against Ukraine. I'm serious. Is this going to happen? Because I think, because Rosie, yes, Rosie, you wrote earlier, yes. Because I had written, guys, I forgot, oh, to somebody, or a comment, or I don't know. I feel like I've seen this and I've commented on it. I think Donald Trump, I think I've seen this before. He has a Russian passport, actually. He has a real Russian passport. And because they give it to their assets, right? And so he really is loyal to Russia. That's the country that feeds him, right? That has paid for everything, that gives him life, that gives him space. So so okay, so tell me. Okay, so is he no? And then I see him arrest he's handcuffed. I think he will propose something like this, yes. But I don't think, no. He's not. No, the military is not going to let it happen, Rosie. That's the thing. But yes, the enemy is within. They have crossed the shores. They have articulated a very careful operation over decades, and they finally got in. And it's saying Putin is going to have 1.5 weeks of enjoyment. And it's saying it may be that they will remove the sanctions, but only for a week and a half, and after that, he they grab him and his minions, and they are kicked out of the government. It's unprecedented, but it has to happen, or the country will not exist anymore. Okay, so Florida has a different question about, but I think for tomorrow, okay, because it's late, but this was very helpful. But President Truman, do you see them remove because they're thirsty for removing Social Security and Medicaid? Will they be able to do that? That's their goal. Now I see them. That's their they. It's like it sounds like a horrible comparison, but it's a child with a pot of candy. Or like that's what they want. They want. But it's like let's get rid of the welfare state because in their minds, I was telling this to someone. Their goal is to see people begging on the street, is to see dire poverty. Because that way, if I think also the goal is to remove the middle class completely so that they can have total power. And it becomes like feudalism, right? If you I've studied, I remember studying in history when the Middle Ages was right around the Middle Ages and such, where people had they gave the people who owned the land allowed people to farm the land, but they were always in debt. They were always indebted to the people who owned the land. So they were basically they had no rights whatsoever. Okay, and it was all about, oh, is the Lord going to be nice to me today or something like that. So that's what they want. They because it's saying once they see poor people, they feel they need to see poverty in order to feel powerful. Because to them, the difference is what makes them powerful. It's like unless there's poverty, I'm never rich. Okay, so that's how they think. But no, I see that it's saying because it's a relative small number of people who are doing this, and they can be caught. Yes, and there's plenty of evidence, including their big mouths. So okay, so that's what I'm getting. All right, okay. So I'm gonna go for today. It's 2 a.m. Okay. All right. So have a good night, guys, and good morning. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay. Bye. Bye.